everyone. My name is Elizabeth. I am 6 years old, and though I cannot see the world like you do, I can feel it deeply, beautifully, and in ways only God can make possible. My story is one of loss, love, and God's amazing grace. It's a story that proves that even when you walk through the darkest valley, as Psalm 23:4 says, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I was born in a small village in Africa to parents who loved me deeply. My mother's touch was soft and warm, and my father's voice was strong and reassuring. But I never saw their faces. I was born blind. My mother used to tell me that God had a special plan for me. Even though I couldn't see the sunlight or the stars, she would sing me songs about Jesus, about how he heals, provides, and loves unconditionally. But when I was just a baby, something happened. My parents were gone. I survived, but I lost everything: my parents, my home, and any chance of seeing the faces of the people who loved me. It was a time of great darkness, both physically and emotionally. But even then, God's hand was on my life. Psalm 68:5 says, A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling. I didn't know it yet, but God was about to become my father in ways I could not imagine. After the fire, I was taken to an orphanage. It was a humble place, but the people there were kind. They told me stories about Jesus and his love for children like me. I began to feel a spark of hope, a light that shone even though I couldn't see it with my eyes. One day, a woman named Mama Grace visited the orphanage. She was an evangelist, traveling from village to village, spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. When she spoke, it was as if her words reached deep into my heart. She said, The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners, and recovery of sight for the blind. Luke 4:18. I felt like she was speaking directly to me. Mama Grace took a special interest in me. She taught me how to pray, how to listen to God's voice, and how to trust him with my whole heart. She told me that my blindness was not a curse, but a gift that God could use to show his glory. For we live by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7, she would remind me. It was during one of these lessons that I decided to give my life to Jesus. I was only 4 years old, but I knew in my heart that I wanted to serve him. From that day on, my life began to change. At the orphanage, I was given a dog named Jack. Jack was no ordinary dog. He was a gift from God. He became my eyes, guiding me wherever I needed to go. But Jack was more than just a helper. He was my friend, my companion, and my reminder that I was never alone. Whenever I held Jack's leash, I felt like I was holding onto God's hand. When I turned 6, I felt a strong calling in my heart. I wanted to tell people about Jesus, just like Mama Grace did. I wanted to share the love that had saved me, the love that had given me hope when I had none. So, with Jack by my side, I started going from village to village, sharing my story. Let me tell you about Jesus, I would say to the people who gathered to listen. I told them how he had been my comfort in the darkest times, how he had given me a family in the orphanage, and how he had given me a purpose even though I was blind. I would quote Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. I told them that even though I couldn't see, I could feel God's love in every step I took, in every breeze that touched my face, and in every wag of Jack's tail. One day, I visited a village where people were struggling with drought and hunger. I stood before them, holding Jack's leash tightly, and said, God sees your pain. He sees your tears, and He loves you. I shared the story of Hagar, who called God El Roi, the God who sees, because He saw her in her distress. Genesis 16:13. As I spoke, I could hear people crying. I told them that Jesus said in Matthew 11:28, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. By the end of that day, many people had come forward to give their lives to Jesus. Jack and I continued our journey, visiting schools, markets, and churches. Each time, I shared how God had been my strength. I told them about the fire, about losing my parents, and about how Jesus had become my everything. I told them that even though I couldn't see the world, I could see God's love shining brightly in my heart. One of my favorite Bible verses is Psalm 27:10. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. I told people that this verse had become my life's testimony. Now, as I stand here before you, I want to leave you with this message. No matter what you're going through, no matter how dark your situation may seem, God is with you. He loves you, and He has a purpose for your life. And if He can use a little blind girl like me to share His word, He can use you too. All you have to do is trust Him. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Thank you for listening to my story. Jack and I will continue to go wherever God leads us, sharing His love and His word. Because even though I cannot see, I know that God is guiding every step I take. May God bless you all. Please like, share, and subscribe to support us. Renee